Hey everybody, Aaron Bishop here with the Bishop's Blurb. I simply love language and languages, just the way that they work to impart ideas to people, and the nuances that are contained within a word or a phrase that we all commonly understand. And this is in any language, be it Hebrew, Greek, English, Spanish, French, any language that exists on this earth. One of the more fun types of words that I really enjoy is what's called a contranym. This is a word that means a thing, but it also means its exact opposite. For example, the word overlook. Is it a place where you stop to see something? Or when you were looking for something, did you overlook it and not see it? Or how about the word left? Has someone already gone and they've left? Or are there any cookies left or remain on the plate? Or what about seed? Did you seed the yard with grass, or did you seed the tomato before putting it on your salad? Or how about cleave? That's a biblical word, right? Did the butcher cleave the bone in two, thus separating it? Or did the man and wife cleave to each other, thus being joined? Why do I bring this up? Well, there is an example of a contranym in the Bible that most of us, we just don't see it because we don't speak the original language. And that word is the word sin. In fact, the word sin operates a lot like our word dust. What do you call it when you spread a powdery substance all over something? You dusted it like you dusted the cake with powdered sugar. Then what do you call that powdery substance that's on something? There's dust on the shelf. And what do you call it when you remove said powdery substance from the thing? It is also called dust. The word dust acts as a verb in two cases, meaning opposites of each other, and it also acts as a noun, as the thing that is either added or removed. So in Hebrew, the word sin or chata'ah, it operates in a very similar way, especially in the book of Leviticus. What is the name of the things that you can do that are contrary to God's ways? Well, obviously, that's sin. We're all familiar with this one. But then, what is the name of the type of sacrifice that then removes this sin from your life? Well, again, it's sin. Not necessarily a noun, more of an adjective that describes the type of sacrifice that's being offered. And then what is the word that's used to mean to purify something? Well, that too is the word sin. And we see the word sin used all three ways in the book of Leviticus. We see it being used to describe the act of doing something that should not be done. Leviticus 4:2. Speak to the people of Israel, saying, if anyone sins unintentionally in any of the Lord's commands about things not to be done, and does any one of them. But then it also speaks of the type of sacrifice that's offered when someone commits a sin. Leviticus 16:16. This verse describing the outcome of a sin offering. Thus he shall make atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the people of Israel, and because of their transgression and all of their sins. And so he shall do for the tent of meeting which dwells with them in the midst of their uncleanness. But sin can also be a verb that describes the action of cleansing or purifying something. Leviticus 8:15. And he killed it, and Moses took the blood, and with his finger he put it on the horns of the altar around it, and purified or sinned the altar, and poured out the blood at the base of the altar, and consecrated it to make atonement for it. The word translated as purified in this verse is the verb form of the word sin in Hebrew. He sinned the altar in order to purify it. So what does this teach us? Is it more than just a simple, interesting turn of phrase or way of words being used? Well, we read something very interesting in the New Testament, and I think it finds its foundation in the way that this word is used in the book of Leviticus. 2 Corinthians 5:21. For he made him who knew no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. Jesus became sin, the sin sacrifice that was the means of cleansing away the sin, the actions, the bad actions that we have done. And in 1 John 1:9, we also read, if we confess our sins, he is trustworthy and righteous to forgive us of the sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. The fact of the matter is, we have all sinned, the verb that makes us dirty. And so Jesus became sin, the adjective that describes the sacrifice, so that we might be purified, just as the altar was, from our sin.